Gate 14 podcast and the Jays are all the motherfucking way back. Holy shit. I'm only joined by JR. Avery is boarding a plane. No idea what he's doing. Guy couldn't soak some data for the boys, whatever. That's on him. JR, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I don't think we could ask for a better way to come back from this break. Just unbelievable.
I mean, that honestly, like, I know we said this last time, like before the break, that we had fun watching baseball. This is the most fun I've had watching the Blue Jays, and I can genuinely, I think I can say this year, like the whole year, this is the
Mhm.
most fun I've had watching the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, it was insane. Like, you kick it off, you come back from an All-Star break, and you put up a 28 spot on Friday. It was just, I mean, and listen, the Red Sox stink, right? Like they suck.
Yeah, I didn't know coach was coming back. Our first base coach was coming back that game. I realized kind of like in the third inning. I don't know if they announced it before the game, but like obviously the boys, we thought like this was going to be the answer when when it first happened,
Yeah.
and we heard that some of the players were down, but obviously I think it's brought a huge spark to this team, him back, and obviously the boys played their ass off and they didn't let up, man. We just kept going, which was just great to see. I mean, fuck the Red Sox, right?
it was it was one of the wildest series I think I've ever watched, because that Friday game, where usually on like when teams come back from
Mhm.
All-Star breaks, they're a little bit slow. They had like a time off, some days off and shit like that. You're like, all right, maybe that'll be a little bit of a slow start. No, 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 no. The Jays get 29 hits on Friday. I couldn't even believe it. It was one of the craziest things of all time. And to top it off, you have guys, the whole lineup had a minimum of 2 hits. The whole lineup, 2 hits. So Tapia 3 for 7, Guerrero 2 for 4, Kirk 3 for 4, 3 for 6, Bichette 3 for 5. I mean, this was one of the craziest. And Gurriel was 6 for 7 with 5 RBIs. I mean, that Friday game, I tweeted it multiple times. I never wanted it to end. It was the greatest game I ever watched.
It was awesome, and Twitter was great for it too. Um, but no, just an absurd game that just. But I mean, you literally can't ask for a better game to come back from the break, like literally.
It was, and listen, and maybe you could talk me off of this, but part of me wanted to start roasting people that were like, no, don't fire Montoya, don't fire Montoya. I wanted to be like, you can't fucking celebrate this. Like, this is ours. We wanted Montoya fired, and Schneider went. Well, what was it? Is he 7-1 since he took
Yeah,
over?
we've won the last six.
Yeah, so
Um,
he's
yeah,
seven
seven
and
and
one.
one.
Yeah, because he lost the opening against the Royals, and then he won the second game against the Phillies. But yeah, part of me wanted to be like, all those clowns out there that were like, "Don't fire Montoya, don't fire Montoya, don't fire Montoya. It's not his problem." Well, see what happens when you get a new voice in the locker room. I'm not going to give him the full credit, John Schneider, because obviously the bat showed up. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, the Jays needed a kick in the balls, and that's what happened. And John Schneider is clearly that guy. The players respect him, and we'll talk about that Manoa moment on Saturday. What a
Yeah.
moment that was.
No, that's exactly like the moment. Like I don't think some people don't realize like, oh well, he was just like he didn't really manage the team, Charlie, but like those moments right there makes a difference, right? Like obviously they respect Snyder, and I don't Charlie in that instant, like he's not doing anything. Let's be honest. I mean, we've seen this multiple times, and Snyder knows how to deal with it, and he sat him down and kind of calmed down Manoa to be like, hey, look, like I know things get heated, but we need your head in the game type thing. Um, and Manoa respects the shit out of him. You can just sell that. We've seen before where Manoa and Charlie have gone back and forth before when he's gotten pulled when he didn't think he'd get pulled. But no, I think that moment right there was kind of like all these guys respect Snyder, which is just great to see, and that's what we want to see um, with this move. That's what we want to see. The guys have to be a little bit scared. Like you want to play for your manager, and I think this is the guy they want to play for.
It's been a crazy. I mean, and obviously, like, his bullpen decisions have been great. He's
Mm-hmm.
implemented Jimmy Garcia as the setup guy, and obviously we'll talk about that in a little bit as well, Jimmy Garcia. But he's playing the guys in the proper situations. Like, he's taking pitchers out with 2 outs that he thinks maybe should be, like, for today, David Phelps got taken out with 2 outs. I just think I think the way he's managing this team right now is great, and that Manoa moment. So for people that don't know that, obviously, if you don't have internet, which is wild because it was all over the internet. So Alek Manoah strikes out Bobby Dalbeck, I believe it was, right? It was Bobby Dalbeck.
Yes.
And he's looking at him and saying, sit down, bitch, or something along those lines. And obviously it was like whatever moment. I don't think Dalbeck was originally chirping him, or maybe he was. Maybe like we obviously don't know that. But Manoa was emptying the tank, as they say. And John Schneider comes up to him in the dugout and he puts his arm around him. And he's pretty much, I'm assuming what he's saying is, I love that energy. I love that fire out of you. But there's different ways to transform that energy. Like do it towards us where you fire the boys up. Don't do it and fire the opposing team up. He put his arm around him, which is something that I can never see Charlie Montoya doing, just based off the fact that he's probably scared of Manoa. And Manoa looked at it, and Manoa loves John Schneider. I think in the post-game comments, he said something along the lines of, I respect him, he respects me, and he listens, or something along those lines where they were talking about mutual respect there. So it was an awesome interaction. That's my manager. That's my manager.
Yeah, and that, like, I love to see, I don't know about you, Johnny, but just seeing Manoa, man, like, we needed a dog. I loved that dog in him. I think the point was, like, not to yap like at them directly, because what you could do is it could turn against the Jays and they could fire up the other bench, right, when they're down type thing, but no, Manoa was fantastic. And I don't know, I'm surprised he came out like that, like, to be honest, like yappy, like he did it to Frankie too, like he's pretty much just sit the fuck down, like I don't know, like maybe he was, hey man, he's amped up, man, he's ready for a big second half. But no, I love to see it, but I could see the side where it was like, okay, like, let's take a step back, fire up the boys, but like, don't yap at the other team type thing. Especially their fucking bottom of the order who sucks shit. I mean, Bobby Dalbeck sucks.
Oh, he's terrible. And so is Frenchie Cordero.
Yeah,
oh my God, that dude is
like
so trash.
We saw what happened with Devers. Similar situation, but not to that, but the Canadian there for Cleveland. Remember that? He like sellied really hard after striking out Devers. Devers just stared him down, and then the next AB took him yard, right? And slowly.
That would have been a bad look for Manoa if that would have happened.
It was
that was a close game.
It was Contrail. Well, Bobby took Manoa yard early in the game, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
So I don't know. I don't know if something happened there. Maybe something happened that we didn't see on TV. To Manoa, or he was just really invested in that game. Could have been.
No, but we got to talk about the Boston Red Sox. I mean, the Boston Red Sox. The defensive performance that they put on this weekend was pound for pound one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. I don't care if you're a Jays fan, Yankee fan, Red Sox fan. We can all come to an agreement that defensive performance that was on the field at Fenway Park by the Boston Red Sox this weekend was horrid. I mean, you're talking about Duran in center field, lets a pop fly go behind him, and just shows no initiative to run back and like at least pretend he cared that he dropped the ball. Like that, we'll talk about that.
That was wild.
What the fuck was what was that? What was he doing?
I like genuinely, like, I don't know. Like, he lost it. I don't know if he actually lost it. Maybe he did. But he just didn't run. And the guy, I guess what he was thinking was the guy was already there, but like, it looks really bad on him, man. Like, at least try and run back. Like, you look like an idiot.
Yeah. The only guy that could do that is like Manny Ramirez, because he's just nasty and it's just Manny being Manny. Like, he's
also one of the fastest guys on the team too, right? Like, if it was a slow guy and okay, like, I'm not getting the ball before this guy, but I mean, Duran has very good speed.
And then obviously, like, there was tons. Like, and then I think a couple seconds after that, or a couple innings after that, pop up to the catcher, no man's land, just drops in between them. It was just, I mean, I don't know if it was cursed or I don't know what it was, but this Red Sox team, and I'm going to pat myself on the back. I said they were poverty last podcast, and I think Avery, I'm going to keep giving him ricochet shots episode, was laughing at me. They are embarrassed. Like, they stink. Like, they could be sellers legit at the deadline. They could be sellers.
It was so bad. The first game, like, that team was so depleted. And I remember I think it was Tapia, and he ran out a ball. I don't even remember this. It was hit the Jeter Downs, and he ran into the first baseman because Vasquez like played it like no other first baseman. And I remember Shulman and them were like, no first baseman like pretty much saying like, this is what happens in these games. You play guys that don't know how to play a position. They're pretty much low key, like just roasting. Like that never happens in the majors. When a play like that, you don't go for the ball as a first baseman or you're going to get plowed. And he got plowed.
It was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, and then today, 3 consecutive plays, bases loaded, ground ball to third base, Jeter downs, hits, I forgot who it was, in the back while he's sliding into home, so he's safe. And then he makes an error at third, and then the pitcher forgets where first base is, oversteps first, and gets hurdled by Vladdy. If I'm a Red Sox fan, I genuinely don't know how I could watch another Red Sox game the rest of the year. Like that is, I'm putting it in another perspective. If that was the Jays, I think I don't know what I would do. God. I would be depressed.
When we sent Vladdy in the first inning, I'm like, why are we sending him? He is going to be out by a mile. Like that was hit pretty hard to the left fielder and he bobbled it. And I was like, what is happening with this Red Sox team?
The Red Sox stink. Like, dude, and speaking about that as well, I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays suck too. They just lost the series to the fucking Royals this weekend. Like
that's bad.
And speaking, like, all things considered, man, I'm looking at this standings and I'm looking at the wild card. The Mariners just got swept. Robbie Ray gave up 11 hits, 5 runs today against the Astros. The Red Sox stink. The White Sox just beat the Guardians in a series, so the Guardians aren't that impressive anymore. And the Rays just lost series to the fucking Royals, dude. Like, in my opinion, those predictions we made are not the craziest predictions. I genuinely do think the Jays are going to finish first in the wild card. If they could just at least play decent baseball, the teams they're competing with aren't good. Like, the Mariners aren't good. And you said that too. The Mariners aren't going to make a splash. Who knows? Maybe they will, but the Mariners aren't good. The Red Sox damn well aren't good. The Guardians, I'm not worried about the Guardians at all. And then the Rays stink. Everything's coming up Blue Jays is what I'm trying to say here.
No, yeah, I agree. I think that it looks good. I mean, you look at our record, we're right there. It's it's crazy though. Like you get these spurts, right? Like winning 6 in a row is just huge. It's just huge. Like things can change fast. We've seen the Jays go on a win streak, but I also like that Snyder isn't afraid to mix up the top 4. Like I know Gurriel, like he had him hitting 3.
That's something Montoya would never do either.
Would never sniff Gurriel hitting up in the top 4, right? Like we'd never see that.
It was insane.
Even Tapia, like I mean, I guess Montoya sometimes played Tapia at 1. But dude, Tapia, like we gotta talk about this guy. He's a grown man out there.
Dude, and honestly, rarely we get like old takes exposed like in a good way, I guess, like not exposed, but dude, he only played in 2 games in the series. He went 6 for 12. He hit 500 with a triple, a double, and a home run. He hit for the cycle, and he hit for the cycle this weekend.
It's gonna be like if he continues to play well, I definitely expect Snyder to test him out in that one spot. Like speed, lefty, we need him at the top of the order. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps this up. Like why not? I mean, I know he was hitting 8 today, which was like I guess because I don't know, was it lefty who started? They had a bullpen game right today.
Yeah, it was Bello.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't be surprised if Snyder gives him a shot at 1. Like, especially with the injuries with George.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
And there was a lot of how do I say it? What's the word for this? If someone does it, if a guy on your side does it, you're like pumping the tires. What is that?
Bandwagoner.
No, it's when it's your perspective. You're obviously whatever. I'll explain it. There was a lot of clowns on Twitter and a lot of Red Sox fans that were clowning Alek Manoah, saying, "Whoa, dude! Like what? Like why are you like telling their team to go fuck themselves, shit like that, or go back to the fucking dugout?" If that was on your side, you would be fucking saying the same shit. Like, "Oh, what a bunch of pussies complaining about this." It's like, first of all, it's a division matchup. 1.
Yeah.
The series is still. It was 1-0 at that time. So if Red Sox win that game, it's a split series. The Jays wouldn't plummet themselves or increase themselves to first place in the division in the standings for the wild card. You can show emotion on the mound, and it's the guys like Jared Carrabis that like that pump the tires of guys that do that, that jerk guys off that do that. Like, I don't get how you can just be one way and then chirp the other when you're rooting on the other side of it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't think I would have
No,
been
yeah,
mad
I
if
know.
someone did that to the Jays. I don't think if I would have genuinely been mad. Maybe I would have.
No, I like that shit, man. Lance Lynn does it all the time. He does it more to himself, but like you see that. Like there's a couple dogs in the majors, but I love to see that shit. Even if it was against us, it just makes the game exciting, to be honest. Like I'm more invested in the game when I have a guy on the mound showing emotion. Like I think it's part of the game. You see it when guys hit homers, like in a big spot. I mean, we saw what Naylor did earlier in the year when he was losing his goddamn mind. It should be the same when a pitcher in a big moment.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, the people that are just like obviously coming at Manoa, it's like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
it's about fucking time this team started showing emotion
Yeah,
with shit,
yeah,
man. We haven't
yeah.
had that. Like, in my mind, the last time the Toronto Blue Jays showed like a high intensity amount of emotion was that Gurriel catch in left field where he's on his like legs and he's just fucking fist pumping like he just made like a sick catch. Like, I can't remember the last time the Toronto Blue Jays played a series emotion from the first inning to the last inning of Friday to Sunday. That whole series, it didn't matter what the score were, they were mashing. It was awesome to see. And by the way, that Matt Chapman prediction of yours aged very, very fucking well on the Friday. I mean, he just shot on that baseball.
People were on that train, and everyone likes the Chapman 30 bombs prediction. Definitely. I'm a big mindset guy, man. And when I see someone who knows they didn't play as well in the first half, I know what they're doing on that break, and they're refocusing and a new manager change too. Like I think everything was lining up that Chapman could have a very strong second half.
And I mean, Chapman he said he was dog shit in the first half and then comes out of here in the Red Sox series and goes 6 for 13. If a guy in your fucking 7 hole is going 6 for 13, I mean, let's go here. It was crazy. I mean, just all those games, it was like, and that Friday game is obviously a one-off, but everything was firing on all cylinders. The bullpen was pretty good. And speaking about the bullpen, man, we got to talk about Jimmy Garcia. Garcia, I'll read the stat here, JR. So Avery sent us a chat. You can't be here, unfortunately. Jimmy Garcia has had 2 blow-ups this year. And we know what game's talking about. I believe it was a Red Sox game, another game. If you take away those 2 blow-ups, he's given up 3 earned runs in 31 innings, a .87 ERA. We got to start giving this guy his flowers, man. He has become one of the best setup guys we've had in a very, very long. Last year, we didn't even have a fucking setup guy. Jimmy Garcia, before Jordan Romano, is lights out as of late, and I'm all in on it. I love Jimmy Garcia. He's so good.
I think he sort of has gone under the radar in the past, like, little bit, where we kind of like forgot about him a little bit. But he started off, like, people forget, man, this guy in his first like 9 appearance, like his ERA was fucked. He was unbelievable to start the year. But no, that just shows, man, like he's obviously been really good. We brought him in to be the setup man pretty much. Paying him 14 mil. 14 mil for 2 years, I think. I think that's right. I don't know, something like that. Or 10 mil a year or something like that. But no, he's definitely paying like he's getting paid decent change. He's a very good pitcher. He was a very good pitcher last year, and I think that he could take up this setup man role. That's crazy. A lot of people don't realize. Like people just think he's average, but really he's been elite.
Yeah, and listen, we're gonna get a lot of people in the comment section because I'm obviously gonna clip that, and they're gonna say, "Oh, so if you take away his bad starts, he had a blah blah blah." Well, if you include those dog shit starts, he has a 2.73 ERA.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that's still good out of the bullpen. Like,
no,
and we're not talking like, oh, take away all his bad. It's 2 bad appearances in a full more than half of a season. Like. And a 2.73 ERA that's good for a setup guy, for Christ's sakes. That might be better than what Romano's been doing lately, I'm pretty sure. But man, this has been fun to watch, bro. I mean, this team this team fucks right now. This team fucks a lot. I don't want an off day. I'm pissed off they have an off day tomorrow.
Yeah, no, man. We gotta keep the train rolling. Like everyone's hitting. Like Jano too, man. Like, can we talk about him?
Oh,
Dude, he's been outstanding this year. Like no one expected a year like this from him.
The difference that Danny Jansen makes behind the plate is something that not a lot of people maybe realize, man. I mean, when he was injured, the bullpen was trash. Starting pitching was trash. Barrios was just whatever Barrios was. You throw Danny Jansen back in the mix from injury, and all the starting pitchers are just on the loose. Kevin Gossman, not Kevin pitching anymore. He's not doing all that stuff, not hanging balls and stuff like that. Barrios has been, we've mentioned his stats last 3 appearances, been lights out, 27 punchies or whatever in 17 innings. And I mean, everyone, and Ross Stripling looked dynamite again today too. So, man, Danny Jansen is like an asset to this team that you just simply can't trade, man. If you put a gun to my head, I'm giving up Moreno at the snap of a finger before Jano. Like, Jano is something, he can hit whatever, like hitting's the bonus. He is so good behind the dish and so good with these pitchers that it's like you can't lose this guy, man, because he's just what he does behind the plate.
No, yeah, I think some people forget too. Like Kirk is only 23 years old. Moreno is what, 22, 21 maybe?
Yeah, it's like 2-year difference, man.
But no one is there from a veteran presence to actually teach these kids, right? Like they're kids. Like, and Jano's obviously become like a veteran, and I think the most important position to have like a veteran is the catcher position. Like thinking about the field. I mean, pitcher, like there's so many pitchers, you're going to have at least one guy that can teach you the ropes, but catcher, man, like if Jano's not there, who the hell's really they're looking up to?
Well,
like,
we got a taste of it without Jano, man, and it did not taste good. It tasted like shit.
I actually chuckled when Zach Collins got into the game. And Schulman and them were like, you got to take advantage of these ABs. You never know when it's your last. And he hasn't hit since June 9th.
It's bad. Yeah. At this point, man, you just got to DFA the dude, man, or release him. Like, I mean, it's not benefiting anyone.
For him?
It's not benefiting anyone having him here. I feel bad for him.
I'd rather have just some speedy dude that we can pinch run.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Zimmer couldn't even get... And you want to talk about Bradley Zimmer? This guy couldn't even... He couldn't even get a hit off of a position player. He went over one. They pinch hit him, and he didn't get hit off a position player.
When you pinch hit a guy who's a defensive specialist and hitting 110, you were doing a horrendous job right now in this game. And that pitcher was like, oh my God. He was throwing meatballs, and Zimmer didn't even touch the ball.
It was so bad, dude. Like, and yeah, he comes into the game, goes 0 for 2 in a 28, like against guys that have no business being there. His OBP is 212. And let me pull this up. I saw a stat. Okay, this is a crazy thing about Zimmer that I have to talk about. So Gurriel got 6 hits on Friday. Bradley Zimmer has 8 hits all year.
You should have tweeted that. You should have posted on the Instagram.
Almost got more hits in one game than Tapia has in the whole season. And people in the comments, Zimmer, I know he's a good fielder. And he's fast. I'm fine with that. He just can't hit a fucking lick, and that stat is objectively incredibly funny.
That is so funny. Oh my God. Dude, I actually, to be honest, how are you, like, I get it. He's fast and he's good defensively, but like, how are you a major league player?
And has been for a decent amount of time.
Do we not have some guy in Buffalo that can play the outfield? Like, can't Tapia play center instead of him when Springer's out, and we could find someone to play right or left that's better than Zimmer?
I don't know. It's like, I know he's good defensively, man. It's just, holy Christ, bro. It's tough to watch at the plate. Like, if you're not getting hits off position players, it's terrible. It's a tough look. It really is.
It's a tough look.
It is a really tough look. And I know, listen, I'm tapped into the game. I know if you aren't getting consistent at bats, it's hard to adjust. Yeah, but we're talking a position player, right? Like, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's really bad. But we got to go back into the positive parts, man. I mean, Calvin Biggio was awesome this weekend.
Yeah.
This is when I love watching the game when the depth guys are buzzing. The depth guys.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that, man, dude, if Biggio, like we talked about before the year, we needed a lefty to have a decent year. We talked about that out of that group. Obviously, Tapia has been showing like, what he can do, and it's been way better than what we expected. But Biggio has always been a guy that it just depends on if he can keep it up, really, man. Like we've seen some flashes where we've apologized. But I don't know. I just need to see him consistently put up good ABs. And it was definitely a good sign. But I just feel like tomorrow we could go back to him fucking just having a horrendous game.
We got to talk about Jeremy Beasley, the elephant in the room. You and I were having a field day in the group chat about it. He comes in the game on Friday when the Jays are up by like 25-26, and he is doing the rosemary or whatever the fuck it's called. What's that thing called? He's saying the Hail Mary on the mound when he in a 25-run game.
He first of all, he looks like he should be in prison, and I was kind of like, first when he was warming up, I was like, this guy's chucking it pretty hard. It was like 95, but he literally doesn't have an off-speed pitch. And I just remember him shaking something off in a 27-run ball game, and fucking Vasquez just puts him absolutely dead center deep off him. Yeah, bud, you're never shaking off a pitch again. And then he lets one go. The 9-hitter hits one off the Green Monster, and he ends the inning, takes off his hat to pray. Like, thank you, God. I was like, we laughed in the chat. I was like, who is this guy? And Shulman and them, they were kind of like, oh, this guy, he could give us multiple innings. Like, he's done it before.
That's the only situation.
We're winning by 25. If he can't give us 3, then we're fucking, this guy's terrible.
That's the only situation you put that guy in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because honestly, he was throwing just straight up cock shots, just letting the fastball eat. He's horrendous. Like, he's terrible. He's so bad.
His breaker is like, he can't control it. It's way too hard. And that's all he has. That's all I saw he threw.
His ERA is 5.54.
In the majors or in the
majors? Like, he's terrible, dude. He really is. I mean, you want to talk about the starters, though? I mean, Kevin Gossman, 10 punchies in 5 innings. Cha-ching. That dude continues to just impress me with his shit. I thought with the tipping of the pitches, we're like, we saw like we saw how good he was, like how, like, obviously at the start of the year, and I was like, maybe he's gonna come back to life and go back to Baltimore Orioles Kevin Gossman. No. This dude, since that tipping pitches, I believe in Minnesota, against Minnesota, has just been he fucks. Yeah. He's so good.
No, man, like he's been like, God, it's just these guys with high strikeout upside, man. We got 3 of them. We got 3 guys with huge high strikeout upside, and it's Berrios, Manoa, and Gossman. So I mean, I don't think we really have that in the pen. So it kind of balances out, to be honest. Like, our strikeout guys are in the rotation, not in the pen. I mean, Jordy can strike out guys, but we talked about that. We don't have it is weird. It's usually the opposite on teams, but we seem to have it where our rotation is strikeout heavy.
And let's talk about some of the free agents that left the Jays in the offseason. Do you guys, listeners, remember when a guy by the name of Marcus Semien said he didn't want to play second base anymore, signed for the Texas Rangers as a second baseman, and now he's on a team that's 43-51, who we called on this podcast we're going to be dog shit this year? Good signing, Marcus Semien. Attaboy. That's a good fucking team to go to. The Texas Rangers. We knew they were going to be trash. You can, I mean, they're the Angels of Texas. Like, they have 2 good guys with Seager and Semien, and then the rest of the guys are pathetic. Like, that's who they are. Could you imagine Semien on this team if he had the same year he had last year? Holy shit.
He would have been huge. Like, obviously, Espinal's really stepped it up, but I think we might see a little bit of a fallback there, which is expected. I mean, Espinal his job isn't. It was never going to be what he was playing, being a 310 hitter. Like, we can't expect that ever from him, to be honest. Like, sustained. But if we had Semien, like a veteran, it'd be interesting if we add someone like that, man, at the deadline, just like a veteran for that infield potentially to play some second base.
Shout out to Avery, by the way, who said the Jays were going to get Daniel Vogelbach, and then like 2 hours later he signs or he gets traded to the Mets. So stay hot, Avery. Stay hot, man. Attaboy. I think, yeah. And then another guy we can go into is a guy by the name of Robbie Ray. Pitches today against the Houston Astros. 3 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 2 nukes, 3.90 ERA. And he's making more than Gossman. I mean, that contract looks shittier and shittier by the day. He is. I'm happy.
There's just no way no one I didn't want Robbie Ray back. I did not trust that shit for how much he signed. Like, Semien was even a thing where it's like, I don't know if I'd not sign this guy for 6+ years.
Yeah, the Jays
right?
dodge
Like, how
bullets.
can you trust that?
They dodge bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go head to head, I mean, the Jays, they lose Robbie Ray and they get Kevin Gossman, who's been fucking lights out this year. Sub 3 ERA, I believe it's at 3 on the dot. And then you also get rid of Marcus Semien, and then Espinal slides right in there, all-star, whatever, and he's been good. So, yeah, it's a nightmare way. It's a nightmare way to look at it if you're another team and you sign these guys, because the Jays have been able to like function pretty decently without 2 of the main guys that were on that team last year.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And by the way, Avery, by the way, Avery's posting Insta stories with females. What's up with that? I was waiting for some of our listeners to send it to us and be like, is Avery back? ? Is Avery just like the PEI Don now? What's the deal with that? Did he bring that up to you?
He, like, it's literally been going around like my entire friend group, like baseball, like it was brought up today. Like, is Avery, like, what's going on there?
Maybe he went there. That wasn't a family trip. Maybe he was down there to visit a female.
He took the All-Star break serious. Like, he's hunting for females.
He's in love, man. Shout out Avery. Congrats, Abe. If you're listening to this, man, congratulations. We love to see that. The craziest thing was the story post. Like, I was like, whoa. I was like, that's an Avery thing. Maybe Avery falls in love quick. Maybe he's a romantic.
He, like, it's this thing to say, like, I fell in love. Like, he always says that. But we never usually like hear about the girl again. But this one was a very new scenario where, like, we actually, like, there was a story and then there was a second story, repost story.
Maybe get in the comment section #Avery's back on the Insta post tomorrow, because he might be.
I'm expecting him next podcast to come in full confidence.
That
like,
he's
this
back.
guy, he's got to be on the moon right now.
And although another thing for listeners, if the Jays start losing games here, you can specifically blame Avery for not showing up to this podcast. Avery will be the mush. So I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah, this is like after a performance like this, like, you mark this down. I know we say must win.
You record on the fucking plane.
It's a must attend.
You record on the plane. Yeah, you record on the plane if you have to. It's just, man, that was wild. It was a wild weekend. The Jays are all the way back. I literally, like, I'm just giddy in my boots, looking forward to the next game. And then another thing that I wanted to bring up is, obviously it's going to be a TikTok comments. There is people in the comments that can't comprehend how good Soto is. Is that crazy to you? Like, I don't know if you read some of them.
No, I was looking at it. I was looking at the comments. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's because he's like, I mean, he is flashy. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't have that name value to the average baseball fan out there.
But like, for the people that don't understand, like, giving up.
Look at his fucking baseball savant for anyone who doesn't, and you'll see how fucking ridiculous this guy is at hitting baseballs.
We're talking about a guy who, by the way, is younger than majority of the prospects that you would trade for him in the minor leagues. He's younger than Bo, by the way. So you want to talk about, you don't want to give up the future. This motherfucker is the future. He is the future. He was 19 years old and he hit 295 with a 932 OPS in Major League Baseball at 19 years old. Bo Bichette was in Lansing, Michigan, playing fucking high A at that time. Like, we're not talking about a Joe Schmo here. This dude came runner-up rookie of the year to Ronald Acuna Jr., who was substantially older than him. He was 19 years old. This guy is 19. He's going to be a 3,000 hit guy, 500 home run guy, easily. He started the league when he was 19. So for the people saying you can't give up the future, he is younger than every prospect that you would trade for. Maybe not Big Dick Rick, but other guys. He is so young that it's like, it's just delusional to even like think like it's crazy.
It's absurd. It's absurd. I mean, like, you see the money getting thrown around. You see the mock trades. There's been a couple, what the ask has been. And I think the Nationals are obviously asking for too much. No one can afford to give that. But I think he gets dealt. Man, I think there actually is bad blood. I don't think it's just the media stirring it up. I think Soto genuinely wants out. He doesn't like where the organization is going.
My favorite comment was if you get rid of Bo, Vladdy walks.
No.
Yeah, dude. Vladdy would be so mad. Vladdy would be so mad to play with him, a Dominican teammate that he's going to play on the national team with, probably trains with in the offseason. Oh, he's going to be so mad. Oh, Soto got traded here. Another Dominican who's disgusting, a generational talent. I'm walking. I'm leaving the Jays.
There was a thing. Vladdy commented on a guy's like jersey swap of like Soto and just said like fire or something, or like
yeah,
eyes.
He did. No, I saw that too. He did. He did do that. He wants.
No, I think that it's just business, and I don't think Vlad and Bo are as close as people think anymore. Like, they kind of seem like they also played when they played Double A together, but like they're not as. I don't think they're as close as people think. And people think they're like best friends.
They're really not.
No,
they're not.
They don't speak the same fucking language.
Yeah, it's like I genuinely don't understand how they could be best friends when like they're not.
I don't see it. I always thought that it could happen where we talked about it, but Bo could get a little over his head and ask for too much here.
Yeah, I think he will.
I think he will. I mean, he's got fucking Boris as his fucking agent, doesn't he?
No.
I thought he did.
No, he's not with Boris.
Okay.
Soto is, but yeah, it's like we're talking about generational talent here, and I said it last podcast. I just read an article in the New York Post that the Cardinals are front runners.
See, they do have. We were talking about it. I didn't think that they had the pool of players to give up. I don't think they have any MLB ready players to give up. I don't know who they'd give up. MLB ready.
They have tons of. I mean, Tommy Edman maybe. I don't know. I think there'd be a pretty like decent package for sure.
They definitely have some young guys, some flamethrowers too.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They definitely do. And I don't know if you saw this. I put it on our Instagram. There was 3 games. The Red Sox played the Jays where they got absolutely outscored by 1 million. 3 proposals. 3 proposals at the Red Sox games. If you're a fan and you propose to your girl or fiance, I guess at the time, or girlfriend at the time, during a game when you are down 25, that is. Listen, I'm into jinx. I understand jinxes and I understand mushing things. That wedding is not good. Like that is not going to last. That marriage is not. If you get proposed to and you accept it in a game when it's 28-3, just know that you're doomed. Like you guys are going to last a year or two. Spend a shit ton on the wedding. Going to be a messy breakup. That's exactly what's going to happen. If I'm that guy, that ring's going back in my pocket when I see that score, and we're doing another day. You
have to pay though. You have to soak it.
Really?
You have to pay, to get those. That's what I think. You actually have to pay because they wouldn't do that for everyone, or else people would do fake ones.
Oh, that's true.
Like the 25, so you have to pay if you want to propose to someone. That's what I saw on the internet was that you pay. You didn't know that?
I had no idea. I thought you just like send a message. That's crazy.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I don't think it's too expensive. I think what I heard was like $100 to $300 range. But imagine watching like 25 runs go by and you're just like, fuck, got to do it though.
You're looking at it and you're like,
imagine your wife your
Girlfriend?
You're not your wife yet, but your girlfriend being like, "Hey, you want to leave early?"
Oh my God. And she
No,
definitely said that. There's no way in hell she wasn't
you know
like
the
to him.
girlfriend wanted to leave
Yeah, she
because
wasn't.
everyone else was leaving.
Everyone left. There's no way she was like, how do you make, listen, if I was in that scenario, I would go to her and I'd be like, listen, I had a proposal planned out. All right. I was going to propose to you today. We're not doing it. This is we're going to be cursed if I do this. And by the way, I'm almost positive, maybe someone could speak up to this. 99.9% of women would rather not get proposed to at a fucking baseball game. Is that a crazy thing to say?
Literally, I don't think it's.
The
I don't know
corniest thing
why
of
they
all
would.
time.
I mean, one, it's like in front of a bunch of people, which usually they don't really like. Um, it's just like not a good setting to do that. It's tight as shit too in that area.
I
You're
don't know.
sweaty.
It's
Just
it's so
brutal.
greasy, dude. Like, and it makes it so awkward for the chick, you know? Like it's
Yeah,
just
no.
I can't imagine. Like I'm pretty sure I think my girlfriend actually said to me like never propose to me at a baseball game. Like never in a massive public setting like that. It's the most awkward thing of all time. I genuinely don't know why they do that. It's crazy.
It's bad. It's bad.
And I mean, yeah, this was great. We got to talk about the Cardinals now, I guess. We'll preview the Cardinals series. So Arenado and Goldschmidt aren't going to be playing, which is so all time. I can't wait to see whoever the fuck the Cardinals play because they're pretty decent too. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be just a world class dog walking by the Toronto Blue Jays this week. I don't know who's going game one though. Is it? Oh, it's Barrios.
Yeah,
Barrios going game one, and I don't know who'd be going game two. Castillo probably.
I can't wait till a week or 2 weeks before the season, before the end of the year, when the games like really matter. People are going to start really bashing the system for this non-vaccinated.
But they weren't saying anything when the Jays had to fucking play in a
No.
minor league stadium.
Yeah.
And for the people that are saying, well, like this is why we shouldn't play in Canada. It's bullshit rules, bullshit restrictions.
I'm pretty sure it's the U.S.
The U.S. has the same restrictions on international travel if you're not a U.S. citizen, like if you don't work there or live there. So one, shut up. Two, you weren't saying shit when the Jays never had a home game. They never had a home game. They were playing in their spring training facility, and then they were playing in Buffalo. Were you saying, oh, man, the Jays, like, this season doesn't count because the Jays, like, they weren't saying shit. You were fine with it. You didn't give a fuck. But now that you guys have to deal with it, now you're speaking up. And I'm kind of hoping for chaos to the term where it's like it's Jays Cardinals World Series championship and Goldie and Arenado can't play in game
That's
three,
where it's
4.
going to get super fucking interesting is playoffs. What the fuck?
And Canada's not changing.
I didn't even think
soon.
about that.
They're not changing anytime soon. Doesn't look like it, at least.
I mean, like, it's been a huge blessing for some of the series. I mean, like, we just went through the KC one where it was like, I mean, come on.
They're not good in the first place, though. The Phillies one, I guess. No, not really. JT Realmuto's not good anyways.
But this one's fucking huge.
This is the first series the Jays have played at the Rogers Center where a very core, important all-star star players are missing, which is I'm kind of feel bad for. It's like, whoa. Like, could you imagine the Jays having to travel somewhere and no Kirk or Vladdy or like no Bo or I guess not Bo, Springer, I guess.
That'd be so crazy.
It's wild. The Jays it's gonna be a murder, both these games, right? Has to be.
I mean, you gotta think. I mean, the fan base is pumped. Like they're gonna be fired up for this series.
Dude, it's like I'm looking at the remaining couple games here. It's like, man, if the Jays are a 6-game win streak right now, and I will say this, I'm not going to be mad if the Jays lose one game during that series. It's baseball. It happens. But we got the Cardinals here without Goldie and Arenado, and then you got the fucking Tigers 4-game series on the weekend. Like, these are all very winnable games. Like, this is the opportunity the Jays have here to like stretch their lead against the Red Sox and the Rays. They're only half a game up right now, right? And
Yeah.
the Rays are facing Baltimore on the weekend in Baltimore. So that's not going to be an easy series. So I think it's going to, I'm juiced for it, man. This is going to be sick. This is going to be
Oh, yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, we got it. We got a good. We play the Orioles. I mean, the Orioles have been good, but we played them twice until the end of August, and then we play the Twins a series. We play Cleveland, so there's definitely some good opportunity, a good window here to take a big leap.
Yeah, I'm expecting a dog walking of the Tigers. The Tigers are pathetic. They stink. The only good
I
thing
love that. I love that series is at home.
Yeah, they should leave Fulmer in Toronto. Just fuck it. But I did the Castillo TikTok as well, and people in the comments are saying like, don't give up Moreno. Like Moreno is the third. Kirk is so young still. It's
you just can't. You can't have both of them play.
Why are people gatekeeping fucking prospects so hard?
They always do it, man. Like they just feel like they're so attached to these guys. It's like you have to win, man. You play to win a World Series. You don't play to hold prospects that will develop in 4 years.
Do you think the Dodgers last year cared about the prospects they gave up? They gave up all their like top 5. They gave up all their good guys, and they got Scherzer.
And those guys aren't even close to developing still.
Yeah, and they got Scherzer and Trey Turner. So Trey Turner stayed there. Scherzer was obviously a rental, but still, man, it's like we can't. Teams that win World Series don't win World Series gatekeeping prospects. That's something that I'm praying to God fans start to realize that teams that win World Series, they're not winning a World Series gatekeeping a fucking 18-year-old in Florida.
Imagine that. Oh, imagine that return. Like we could like looking at who the Dodgers gave up, we could 100% make that happen. Now, I think that they didn't give up enough to get imagine Scherzer and fucking Trey Turner.
It's just you're adding 2 all-stars. It's just so
like that trade was absurd when it happened, and you just think about that. Imagine adding Trey Turner and Scherzer to the Jays lineup right now. Holy,
it'd be just
crap.
Stupid. Yeah, it would just be stupid. But I guess we can tap into this series. So obviously, like I said, it's Barrios. So then I'm assuming Castillo. I'm gonna say Jays sweep 2-0. Okay. When the Jays are hot, they're hot. That's just what we've learned. They just keep winning when they're hot.
I like that. I like the sweep, to be honest. 2-game series, missing those 2 key pieces. I like it. And I wouldn't be mad if a 1-1. I think Barrios can win his start, but not sure about
the Castillo one's kind of a toss-up, obviously.
Yeah.
But dude, this man, Tapia, is 13 for his last 27. He's hitting 481. Oh my God. It's just good for him. The guy just fucks.
Front office is looking really smart right now.
Yeah, they really are. Besides like some of the bullpen guys they have.
Except go get us a goddamn bullpen now.
I'm excited for trade. I'm excited for the trade deadline, dude. It's
gonna be
because
awesome.
if the Jays keep playing like this, like they are right, obviously
they're gonna make a huge splash.
If the Jays keep playing, like let's say they play 650 baseball, right? Like that win percentage, 65% win percentage, going up to that trade deadline, then if I'm Ross Atkins, it's every prospect's fair game.
Trade anyone, just don't ruin the core, and you're fine. Like, do it, man.
Just picture, dude. Like, okay, for the listeners, close your eyes here. The Jays just made it to the trade deadline. 65% win percentage. They're buzzing. They're way up in the wild card. They are like the playoffs are looking near here. Ross Atkins makes a fucking splash at the trade deadline, a starting pitcher. Imagine going to the Rogers Center again. We haven't been able to do this for so long. Imagine going to the Rogers Center again after a trade deadline when your team is in the hunt, is a World Series contending team, and one of your acquisitions is on that mound. The Rogers Center vibes are the greatest vibes of all time when the Jays are like that. It's just, it gives me chills, dude. It seriously gives me chills thinking about it.
I remember that when Price, man, we got him even Tulo, man. It was like, it's like the new kids on the block. When the new kids come on the block, man, and you see him in the new uni, it fucking, it lights everyone up.
It gets me rock hard, like just rock
Mhm.
hard, just thinking about like a contending.
Barrios even last year, like it was like huge. Like we were like, whoa, like
Yeah.
everyone was so excited. You gotta expect this year, like I'm expecting 2 or 3 pretty decent moves coming.
I can't wait for it. And they're not going to be scared to do it, bro. I genuinely don't think they will be.
I think it's an all in. I mean, it shows like firing Charlie, right?
Yeah,
Like, it
that was the
shows.
first, and we made a checklist. Fire Charlie, get a starting
We
pitcher.
should make a trade deadline checklist and put it on Instagram.
I can't wait for the live reactions of some of the trades the Jays are going to make. I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait, dude, to go to the Rogers Center in fucking August if they keep this shit up. Like last year, do you remember how sick it was when they were making that push? Game 162 against the Orioles was sold out because it was like, if they win this, they put themselves in a good chance to play the wild card game. Like, this is it. And then obviously the Nationals blew it, but man, that was fucking awesome. I just love play. I love meaningful baseball in Toronto because obviously we care about it so much. All of like the fans care about it so much.
No, yeah. I remember it was like last time we played when we were in playoffs, it was like a 30% fucking uptick in people wanting to play baseball in Canada. Like that's what happens to the city, man. When we're in the hunt, people just get excited, really excited.
I might buy a Tapia jersey, by the way. I seriously, I want to be the one. I want to be the one-off dude with a Tapia jersey.
I wish I got a picture with him when I saw him.
Yeah, you fucked up on that. That was.
I wish because then we could have just posted that pic.
That would have been like Tapia again. It would have been like the video.
The fact that he was right beside me and he was so casual, just casual Tapia walking the streets of Toronto.
It's just so fun.
Just I fucking wish I got a pic. Could have hung that up on my wall.
That would have been a good one. It's just fuck. I love Tapia. I love this Jays team when they're hitting like this. It's so fun to watch. You just sit back and just watch the bat, everyone in the lineup, top to bottom, be a problem, and then just dancing on division rivals' graves is sick. But yeah, man. I mean, hopefully we can get those. So, what's the deal with the website?
I'm working on it right now. It'll probably be just like a form. We should have it out this week for the boys to pre-sale.
Say that again. I think you cut out. What did you say?
I said
form.
So the payment processor worked, but I'm deciding on if we want to just make like a simple form or we can make a site and attach the payment processor. So, but we should have people will be able to pre-sale this week.
Okay. Fuck yeah, dude. People are juiced for it. It's gonna be sick. Yeah. And then obviously we'll deal with the Bet99 people. I don't know if I should have said. I said that. I did say that last episode. But yeah, it's Bet99 obviously, and we'll go into that with that because I believe what we have right now is they match your first deposit up to $600. So whatever you put in, you get back. So that's gonna be sick. And the boys are. I mean, let's have a week. We had a great weekend. Now we got to have a week here. Little 2-game series. I'm predicting the Jays go. But to the next time we record, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm predicting the Jays go 3-0. Wow. I'm predicting it. I want at least a 10-game win streak. At least. Because we're talking Tigers, Cardinals for the next 3 games.
It's really possible, man. Like, we could go on a heater here.
And none of us predicted the sweep, actually, which is sad. But who would have thought? Seriously, who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Really, coming off the break? Like,
yeah, definitely. But what a series, man. What a weekend. Jays are all the way back. Thanks, Avery, for showing up.
Thanks, Avery.
Actually, in another prediction, I'm going to say Tapia stays hot and gets a standing go at the Rogers Center. I'm predicting Tapia gets a standing ovation at the Rogers Center sometime this week. Okay. Like for something he does.
I like that. He deserves it, man. I love to see that shit. I need to see that.
I love it because all those stat nerds that when we made that clip, like I think a month ago, were like, "Oh, Tapia, oh, like he's WRC plus, just random shit." You look so fucking stupid now, dude. Like those guys look so dumb, and now they're probably throating him. Like, it's just crazy. So shout out Tapia, seriously. Fenway frauds is what the episode is going to be called because the Boston Red Sox stink out loud.
They do. They suck.
All right, yeah. So thank you guys for listening. Obviously a short episode because it was only a 3-day in between, just like most of our Monday episodes. But what a series, what a win. And let's go 3-0 before the next time we talk. Let's keep the train rolling. Fuck the Cardinals. Fuck the Tigers. Let's roll. And that's it. JR, anything else to say?
No, let's get some dubs, man. It's gonna be a big winning streak coming up.
Thanks for showing up, Avery.
Yep.
Avery.